joining us, and the short notice is about Ambassador Grossman giving us his guest list very late. So I apologize. It's typical of the Pak-US relationship. We work hard at it, but we get it done. So thank you. I just want to take the opportunity to say that in his capacity as the U.S. Special Representative for Afghanistan and Pakistan, Ambassador Grossman has acquitted himself with exceptional grace and commitment. We all would agree that he has had to deal with an unprecedented crisis in the Pak-US relationship and the dynamic. And I just want to say that as someone with an ear to the Washington ground, I think I can say with some confidence that Mr. Grossman has justified every bit of trust that his principles repose in him. And I can certainly say for our principles that they do too. So thank you for the great job you do. I also want to say that when I first came to Washington, which was almost a year ago, I remember very clearly calling on Ambassador Grossman at the State Department, and he said to me, this bilateral relationship was in a mode of recurring crisis. It was strewn with every possible minefield and weighed down with baggage from 2011. Mark, would you come up here, please? Please stand. Again,
the 2011 part.
Typical of Mark to be hanging back and not accepting the accolades coming his way. He was very quick to agree with me that the task ahead was challenging, but he also agreed that we could navigate it to a zone of steady progress and stability instead of the cycles of highs and lows it often found itself in, which you all know it did. I realized very quickly after the red-eye nature of the job that it was the case those days, and we were on phone calls at all times of the day and night, that I was very fortunate to find friends such as Marc Grossman and his team who were equally dedicated to steering the relationship with the assistance of my own committed and excellent team in a very positive and stable direction. So with crossed fingers and a call to temperance, I want to say that we have mostly succeeded. So thank you, Mark, again. And if there is presently an air of optimism and hope about the future of this critical relationship, a good part of the credit goes to Ambassador Grossman. I take this opportunity to take a few words about the relationship as well and the kind of equilibrium we are trying to build between us after very capricious weather, so to speak. Is this working, or is this trying to sabotage me? Okay. In the renewal, ladies and gentlemen, of this very important relationship, I see the two countries engaging and hoping that they engage as democracies, sharing not only the tangibles of geopolitics that we always do, but the economic and commercial interactions that are so critical to shared values. I know that I speak for President Zardari as well when we say that the future success of core foreign policy agendas are pivoted as much or more on investing in societies and people as they are on engaging with states. So I look forward to crafting a new relationship, not only with Ambassador Grossman as a friend of the United States, but with everybody I see here tonight. Our task together must be to look to enhancing and broadening our bilateral relationship by creating opportunities for trade and business cooperation, building stronger ties through creative public communications and student exchanges, people-to-people exchanges, and by fostering a deeper understanding of the multiple transitions, at least that our society is going through right now as we speak. As you know, Pakistan is going through its first historic constitutional peaceful transfer of power, and we greatly appreciate the State Department and, of course, the United States and Marc Grossman's support in all this endeavor. Ambassador Grossman has shared this vision of a relationship as broad-based, as well as on trust and building on an economic partnership, and worked very, very hard indeed to make it happen. The 5 working groups, in fact, that will complete their joint deliberations by the middle of this month, the constant strategic interface on grasping at opportunities for a secure and stable Afghanistan and Pakistan, all took a lot of traveling between offices, countries, and even continents. And here I can't resist making a little quip about that foot He broke the poor man and he took it around everywhere. It didn't deter him. No obstacle stood in his way, nor would he brook any closed door. And that is something I learned from him. When one door closes, you try to open another. So in recounting this success, I just have to say that Marc Grossman's name will rank as a gold star among those who helped this vision become a reality. I am sure I speak for all of us here that it was a pleasure working with him and an honor to call him a friend. With this small tribute and without much more ado, I present to Ambassador Marc Grossman a token of the Pakistan Embassy's real appreciation for your service. And we hope to keep seeing you in Pakistan and in Washington. Thank you, Marc. Thank you again, and we will all miss him in this job, but we hope to keep seeing him everywhere it matters.
Very much. Well, Ambassador, thank you very much. One of the things that is most true about Pakistan is that Pakistanis are rightly known for their legendary hospitality. And Ambassador Rehman, I feel that we have imposed upon you yet again, but to be here in this beautiful tent, looking forward to this beautiful dinner, we thank you very much. May I also take this opportunity to thank so many people who are here in this room, and let me first of all recognize Ambassador Hakimi of Afghanistan. We thank you very much for coming here, sir, especially we know you're on your way back home, but we thank you for coming here. May I also take the opportunity, if you would allow me, Ambassador, to thank the fantastic people from the SRAP team, so many of whom were kind enough to come here tonight. And may I also join you in thanking you not just for the team from Pakistan here at the Pakistani Embassy to the United States, but I hope you will also convey our thanks to those in Islamabad who we've worked so closely with, Foreign Minister, the Foreign Secretary, all of the people who were there in Islamabad. I also see so many people here this evening who have given me advice and given me counsel. May I just, if you would allow me, single out, perhaps as representatives of the astonishing Pakistani-American diaspora, Ray and Shaista Mahmood, thank you very much for coming here. I appreciate it. One of the things that is very true about diplomats is that diplomats never can take out of their heart their first post. And I think many of you know that my first post in the Foreign Service was Pakistan, was Islamabad, 1977 to 1979. And I think back to those days and the important firsts that I experienced there. Among the most important was the honor and the privilege to represent my country to someone else's nation, to understand how other people live their lives, to have some curiosity about people who organize themselves in a different way. But I look back, though, on those years, 1977 to 79, what strikes me, of course, is the people that I met there and friendships that have lasted a lifetime. And if you would allow me, Ambassador, to say that standing in this room is the very first diplomat that I ever met representing the United States, and that's Ambassador Tokir Hussain. And so that friendship has lasted a lifetime, and sir, we thank you very much. But when I consider those years in Pakistan, the walks in the Margala Hills, the time in Swat or Kagan, Karachi, Peshawar, Landi Kotal, where I won't say what I bought there, the Fiber Pass. These were very important parts of my upbringing as a diplomat. I was asked, Ambassador, some year and a half or so ago, whether I remembered any Urdu from my time in Pakistan. I said, no, not a bit, none. And someone said, oh, come on, you must remember something of the language. And I said, nothing. I don't remember a thing. And finally I said, oh, please. And I said, okay, I have one sentence that's left of all of that Urdu. And if you would allow me, the sentence that still sticks in my mind, and no one can record that on their cell phone. The sentence is this, and you will all recognize it from the Pakistanis I hope will recognize it from many travels. And the one thing I can still say in Urdu is, Aapki hifazti jacket, aapki kursi ke niche. Which if you'd allow me to translate means, which if you'd allow me means, your life jacket is under your seat. Which of course extremely useful. Useful term. 2 years ago, almost exactly, I was at home and Secretary Clinton called and asked if I would take this responsibility. And I must say that in some ways it kind of completes a circle. There's a certain kismet to this, having started in Pakistan to come back to work on Pakistan and Afghanistan. And I've tried to do the job in the best way that I know how, always following, if you'd allow me also, and I will not say this in Urdu, the advice that comes from Iqbal, to recognize your limitations, estimate your capacities, and success is assured. And so I want to take a moment to also pay tribute to Ambassador Rehman, who has been here, as she said, now 1 year. I think we've had a great relationship to try to reset Pakistan and American ties. One of the things that happens, of course, when you see someone every day, you forget a little bit about who they are in their own society. The Ambassador may remember that earlier this year we welcomed a filmmaker from Pakistan, female filmmaker, and Ambassador had a lunch up at the embassy. And I was struck by the number of people who came up to me and said, do you understand the role that Ambassador Rehman plays in her own society about promoting tolerance and about promoting pluralism and about promoting the rights of women? And so we are very honored that you will represent your country here in the United States. Final point, and that's the point where Ambassador Rehman finished, which is that what you learn in diplomacy is that people matter and individuals matter. And so therefore this attempt to have a relationship with Pakistan, which is based on people-to-people contacts, on business, on Americans and Pakistanis getting together, I think is an extremely important one. When I think about Pakistan and Pakistanis, I think about resilience. I think about a tough people who are very resilient and know very much what they want, and that is, as the ambassador said, to live in a society of tolerance and pluralism and democracy, and a society in which they can make choices about their own lives. The other thing I'm sure about is that Pakistanis will solve their own challenges in their own way, and the United States of America is proud to support that effort. So Ambassador, we thank you very much for your hospitality. I'm sorry about the short notice, but not so bad. And again, I thank you very much for your kindness this evening. Thank you very much.